Out of 17 different concrete sealants I inquired about, 9 did not make it to the testing lab. I highly suggest you do not use any of these 9 sealants to seal your concrete candle jars. Why? We're going to talk about the reasons that those sealants won't work for your candle making purposes right now. Let's go. Hi, my name is Jay Catalana. Let's do this in alphabetical order. Chang Concrete Sealer. I spoke with Sarah over at Chang's, and here's what she said. Our product is not toxic at all, but I don't believe the Chang's product is right for concrete candle holders as it's not too heat resistant, and because this product was made specifically for countertops, I'm gonna say no. So being that Sarah said no, she didn't believe it would work for concrete candle jars, as well as the fact that Chang's product isn't heat resistant. Chang's is a no. Let's move on. Clear Seal. I spoke to Nicholas over at Rain Garden. Here's what he told me. When I asked about heat resistance, he said Clear Seal was heat resistant up to 120 degrees. That didn't sound promising. When I asked about toxicity, he said there were low VOCs. Then when I asked him if he thought Clear Seal would work for concrete candle jars, he emphatically said no. So Clear Seal is a no. Let's move on. Go Shield 8510. I spoke to Lou over at Go Shield and asked about his thoughts on using his product for concrete candle jars, and here's what he said. He said that it is not heat resistant and should avoid both heat and fire. He further said that there was a small amount of formaldehyde that would get released over 150 degrees. Oh, And in case you were wondering, formaldehyde is a chemical compound that is used in many different products and industries. It is often used as a disinfectant, preservative, and embalming fluid. Think Frankenstein. Before Frankenstein was created, his brain was in a jar of formaldehyde. It's an important chemical, but it can be dangerous, and if it's inhaled in high concentrations, it's important to use caution when working with it. That's when Lou wrapped it up by saying to me that their product was not intended for concrete candle jars and should not be used for that purpose. Whew! Okay, Lou, thanks. Let's move on. Green Building Supply. I spoke to Devin over at Green Building Supply and asked her about her thoughts on using her product for concrete candle jars. And here's what I learned. Devin wasn't quite sure if the Green Building Supply product could be used in a concrete candle vessel. In addition, she had gotten some calls in the past asking similar questions. She then said that even though there were low VOCs associated with their product, it was not heat resistant. She wrapped it up by saying she did not think the product was a good match for sealing concrete candle jars. And if she doesn't think it's good and it's not heat resistant, then Green Building Supply gets a no. Let's move on. Minwax Polycrylic. I spoke to Matt over at Minwax and he told me that this is a question he gets quite often. He told me that even though Minwax is not toxic, it is not heat resistant. Then he emphatically said, in as pleasant a way as possible, our product is made for wood. Do not use our product on the inside, outside, or any side of a concrete candle jar. He doesn't want us to use Minwax, and if you use it, stop! In all seriousness, even though Minwax gets a no, I know there are many who still use it anyway. Let me say this, as I cannot control what you do and what you use. First, think about your customers. You want to keep them safe. However, God forbid anything goes wrong with your candle and something tragic happens. And through an investigation, it's learned that you used a product that wasn't intended for concrete candle jars. If that happens, let me just say that I have a number that you should write down. That number is 1-800-LAWYERS. Let's move on. Miracle Sealants. I spoke to Kelly over at Rust-Oleum, and Kelly said that Miracle Sealants is heat resistant up to 200 degrees. And it is not toxic at all. However, she stated that Miracle Sealant is not made for concrete and should not be used for concrete candle making. So if she said no, then Miracle Sealants gets a no. Let's move on. Ovation. I spoke to Kim over at Ovation and she said that even though there are low VOCs associated with their product, it is not heat resistant. She then said that her product can be used for concrete candle jars. Okay, I was a little confused, in being that she said that her product wasn't heat resistant, and it confirms it on their website. For the safety of myself and anyone interested in using it, I'm opting not to test their product. So Ovation gets a no. Let's move on. Quickrete concrete and masonry waterproofing sealer. I spoke to Christopher over at Quickrete, and he said that even though there are low VOCs associated with their product, it is not heat resistant. He then added, unfortunately, our sealers are not fire resistant. We do not suggest using our products if it will be in close contact with heat. So Quickrete concrete sealer gets a no. Let's move on. Varathane. I spoke with Jen over at Rust-Oleum, and she said that Varathane is not heat resistant over 120 degrees. And when I asked about toxicity, she said, yes, Varathane emits toxic chemicals. And that's all I needed to hear to end our toxic relationship. Varathane is a no. And those are the 9 sealants that I decided not to test because I felt they would not work for concrete candle jars. Safety is always paramount. And take a look at these videos that are popping up now to help you on your candle making journey. Until next time, thanks for watching. Ciao.